Hey guys, what's up? JP here. I wanted to do a video as it is the end of the year. I mean, we're 2 days away from New Year's. Kind of recapping what happened in 2013 here on the YouTube channel and giving you guys some stats and just talking about the different shows and also kind of looking forward to 2014 and some of the stuff that I want to try to accomplish and also what's going on with a bunch of the shows. So I guess you can call this like a state of address of itmeJP or a 2013 and recap with all those are terrible names. I'll come up with a better name for the video, trust me. Anyways, so let's talk about 2012 before we jump to 2013 so you guys have a sense of comparison. In 2012, just some quick stats, I had 3.2 million views, 13 minutes and 45 seconds average retention, which is how long people watched each video on average. And I had a total of 20,285 subscribers with 440, that's net, 421 were lost over the course of that year. So if you factor that in, that means I gained about 25,000 roughly. In 2013, the channel obviously grew a lot. And I knew it grew a lot. I didn't have an idea of how much it grew until I started looking at these stats and kind of collecting things for this video. So, for comparison, in 2013, so far, we still got 2 days to go, so maybe we'll break 11 million, but we have 10.9 million views total, and a lot of that is actually towards the end of the year. For the most part, every month since, I would think, probably June, I've been getting around 1 million views a month, which as a YouTube channel, that is a pretty remarkable goal, and it's a big milestone. So a huge shout out to everyone watching. I cannot thank you guys enough for all of the support you've given me. Retention wise, the average viewership has been around 17 minutes and 43 seconds. So by comparison, that's a pretty good jump. And also the percentage of viewers that are actually watching that much is a lot higher. It goes so much as 14% in 2012 watching 13 minutes and 45 seconds to 46% watching 17 minutes and 43 seconds. And it's kind of crazy, the fact that it's that high. I can't thank you guys enough. Retention is one of the most important stats for YouTubers because if you're posting 40-minute videos and they're only watching for 2 minutes, that's actually really bad, obviously. So a huge shout out to everyone. And that number actually was a lot higher towards the end of the year, simply because more people started watching role plays, and those VODs are around 30 to 45 minutes long. So huge shout out. Subscriber wise, I had 47,979 subscribers net, with 15K lost over time. And a lot of that comes from the content switch that the channel kind of did in 2013, where State of the Game was the primary reason for people visiting the channel last year. Roleplay wasn't a thing, and now that audience has kind of left the channel, departed from the channel, and now we've got this new audience, a lot of which came from Total Biscuit's channel, and also who I think just found it or have watched the show over on Twitch. So for a content switch of that size and to retain that many subscribers and also grow by 48,000 subs, I just blown away. The biggest video of the year, which wasn't actually a surprise to me, was the Real Talk with Idra after being removed from Team Evil Geniuses. I think that's sitting around 200,000 views, which might be my top viewed video of all time, actually, as well. Following that, I think sitting at around 140 is Roleplay D&D Week 1, Part 1, which was the first episode of Roleplay we ever did. And, I mean, you can see it right here. It looks completely different. We all look completely different. Had no idea what we were doing. And it's really funny the fact that we started that in February of this year. Looking back, I can't even believe that. I can't even believe that. So, yeah. I guess we'll start with roleplay. One of the things that it's going to be changing across all of the shows going into 2014 is that the intro videos and the fight music are not going to be used anymore when it's live recording on Twitch or here on YouTube. And the reason for that is, yes, it does suck. There's not much I can do about it. The songs are part of the reason that it's hard to create content on YouTube. They are community made songs. Everything I use is community made. However, I do not know where these community members who are creating awesome songs are getting all of their stuff to make these songs. So while I have no doubt in my mind that they are probably all legitimate, I can't take that risk as a channel. So I'm going to just have to do away with it. I think R&D is the perfect example of a show that doesn't have any intros or music to it. And I think it works out. You jump straight into the content here on YouTube. There's no waiting through a 30-second intro on every VOD, which honestly I get a little bit annoyed of when I'm watching TV shows and whatnot in advance. I think a lot of people actually just automatically skip the intros when you're watching content like that in huge things. So I think that's the first thing that'll really, you'll see a difference of 2014 is Dark Heresy, the main role play, which we'll talk about here in a second. What else? Eben and R&D. No intro songs, no intro videos. Community songs are still going to be used during commercial breaks and whatnot over on Twitch, and I cannot thank you guys enough. To the composers and everyone that has made those. If you guys have not checked any of it out, go over to roleplay.bandcamp.com and check them out. There's a huge list of community-made songs that people have made, and they're all awesome. I cannot thank you guys enough. So let's go and start with Roleplay D&D. Roleplay D&D is actually going to be renamed to Roleplay Solemn. That is the world that Neil has had us playing in for quite some time. And it just fits the show better because roleplay D&D is a very broad term, and I think Solemn will kind of bring an actual name and a recognizable name to that show. So we're going to go and rename that show to Solemn. We hope to get started in the second week of January. I'll probably have more details on the campaign, the players, and really what all is going on with that, simply because we haven't had time to talk with people as people are still on holiday break. So that's all the information I have on Roleplay D&D right now. When I know more, when I'm able to talk about more, I will let you guys know. Let's talk about Roleplay Eben for a sec. Roleplay Eben, I believe we've knocked out 8, maybe 9 weeks. And I'm kind of unhappy with how things have gone. With that's 100% in regards to my DMing. I've jumped around a lot. I have a lot of ideas that have occurred within that game. However, I don't know how to say it. I guess I bit off too much. I tried to do too much in the world where it's a pretty cool setting, but I'm thinking, I haven't done this yet, and I got to talk with the players, but we might keep the characters as is, keep their backstories and everything as is, but we might just kind of start the campaign over. It would allow me to refocus and really focus on the sessions rather than the overarching story, as I think that's something that'll come with time. So we might do that. Might do that change. I need to talk with the rest of the crew, but I just wanted to tell you guys and see what you thought about it. So please post here in the comments what you think. Dark Heresy, it's not going to change at all going into 2014. I'm perfectly happy with where that show's at. Might switch up the graphics a tiny bit, but apart from that, the show's going to be pretty much the same. I'll have more details when we're going to be playing, obviously, when I get there. But I'm really happy with where Dark Heresy is at. Roleplay R&D, the fourth and final show. I cannot thank you guys enough for watching that and enjoying the show. It is super successful in terms of how it launched and the fact that we also only have 4 people on that show, and it's a much smaller everything, production, show just in general, but it's been so well received. It premiered in December. We've already done, I believe, 4 weeks, going into a 5th week of Apocalypse World, and I think this might be the 5th and final coming up. Should be going into the 2nd rule set in a week or two. Maybe have a surprised guest or not. We're kind of working on that. We have decided what the rule set is going to be, but we're not going to reveal that until the day of the show. But I'm just super, super happy with where R&D is. I could not have picked a better cast. Actually, it had nothing to do with me picking the cast. I'm just forever grateful to Steve, Maggie, and Wheat for being on the show. I think that those guys are just super friendly, super casual, super easy going. The show's just clicked, and I think we make a great kind of a great cast. Really enjoying that show. Really enjoying that show. So that's it for Roleplay. Across the board, everything's probably going to stay mostly the same. From what I said, just a couple of minor changes moving forward with those shows. So content outside of Roleplay. That is your JPOVs, your 8-bits, your Real Talks, and kind of these Let's Plays that I've been doing most recently with Baldur's Gate. We're going to be continuing Baldur's Gate, and I'm sure as next year when I do the 2014 recap, that we'll also still be doing Baldur's Gate. I'm actually really enjoying that game. 30, 40 minutes a day. It's really super easy to record and get posted, and you guys seem to be enjoying it, so I'll keep doing it. As long as you guys are enjoying what I'm doing, I'll keep doing it. Real Talk's been pretty well received. We've done 2 episodes since I quote-unquote brought it back. We did one with Jeff Green, and then, of course, the most recent one with Lethal Frag. I'd love to see who you guys want to see Real Talks with. It can be anyone, really. It could be YouTubers. It could be esports people, whether they're players, casters, team managers, whatever. It could be Twitch people. Really anyone. Post in the comments. Let me know. I've kind of got a list or a running list in my head. I'd love to put some pen to paper and kind of get that ironed out. But I also want to see what the community wants to see, or who they want to see interviewed in these long form interviews. I think Real Talk's great. I just need to be more regular with it, is where that shows at. 8-bits and the JPOVs are 2 things that I really, really enjoy doing, but they still kind of seem to me to be like the odd one out, or a little bit out of place. 8-bits happens pretty regularly every Friday. Me and Wheat, we've had Jeff Green on there in the past. We had Dan Giesling on for our 2013 finale, and I do enjoy doing it, but it just seems a little bit separate from the rest of the channel. So I want to work on that and maybe start doing more things kind of like that. The channel's really become this hub for roleplay, and that's something that I do enjoy. I think that's great, but there are other parts of me on this that I do on a daily basis that I want to bring into the channel, and maybe that just means doing more of that. So we'll keep tweaking those and moving forward with those in 2014. One of the other things I really want to work on is the community interaction here on YouTube. I think that's really a fault of mine, whereas most, actually, I would say probably 90% of the content that I do is all over on Twitch, and I have a great relationship with the fan base there, and I'm able to talk with them every time I stream. One of the things that I really want to do is have a conversation with people here on YouTube, and whether that's asking questions and getting feedback almost in every video, or maybe doing like monthly comment of the month type deal, highlight a good community member here on the YouTube channel. Stuff like that I think would be something that would be interesting and something to test the waters with. I guess kind of to throw it to you guys while also seeking community interaction, what are some other things that you guys have maybe seen on some other channels, or something that you would enjoy seeing here on YouTube in terms of interaction with you guys? Or is that something you just don't care about? You just want to see more roleplay? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I think the Twitch community, to speak to them, I cannot thank you guys enough. I think we've got like, I don't know, 40,000 followers over there in the past 6 months. just a great community. I cannot thank you guys enough. Super positive, super enthusiastic about the content. That's really all I can ask for as a content producer, just to have those people. It's a great positive reinforcement when it comes to creating content. One of the other big things, while I don't have too much information about it now, simply because I'm keeping it close to my heart, is in spring, hopefully, maybe earlier, maybe later. I don't know how long it's going to take. But I really, really want to launch itmeJP.com and roleplay.itmeJP.com sometime this spring. I'll have things to update when I have things to update you guys with. Right now, it's all kind of in here. I need to, once again, put pen to paper. I've already got a graphic designer and a web dev kind of picked out and decided for that. I just need to really sit down with them in early 2014 and get that ball rolling, because I think it's one of the things that I'm super excited for, to kind of have a home to myself. So we'll have that launched hopefully in the next 6 months. That's kind of the goal. Some other goals with 2014, really focusing on consistency with content. Towards the end of 2013, I think I was pretty consistent. The past couple of weeks I've been pumping around 16 to 20 hours of content each week, which you guys are still watching. So I'm going to try to keep that up through 2014 and try not to miss 2 weeks. Try not to miss too many weeks. I took 2 weeks off in early November, and that was really it was a risk that I took, and it ended up not being worth it. I think that that's too long to go away from a channel. Something like I did for Christmas break, where I had R&D and the Baldur's Gate playthrough every single day while I was still in San Antonio for 5 days is really what I should be doing in the future. So always having that consistent content on the channel is what I'm going to strive to do. One of the other things is that I'm upping to kind of, I don't know if you call it production value, more just video quality. One of the things that I started doing for about a week, and then it just really became too much, was doing kind of these post video pages where it's got a bunch of videos on it, and it links to all of those. So that's one thing I'm going to try to focus more on with a lot of the different role plays out there, and kind of providing the next video link. Annotations are a little bit of an annoyance, but if you do them one per day, it doesn't get really all that bad. So that's one thing I want to try to do. But apart from that, before I wrap this video up, just a huge shout out to you guys. Last year around this time, I was actually quite depressed. The content had kind of stopped flowing, and I started, it wasn't even till, I don't know, March or April that I started doing a lot more when it came. I mean, that's right around the time that roleplay kind of kicked up, and I really just started doing content. And you guys responded to it, and I cannot thank you enough for that, because this is now my full-time job. I've always said that, and when I left MLG, it's what I had hoped to do. I just didn't realize how hard it was going to be. So huge shout out to everyone. 2013 was an incredible year. I'm super excited for 2014. There's so many more things that I want to try and do, and hopefully you guys will all join me for that. I'm going to go cook a steak, have a couple drinks, celebrate 2013 as we've got 2 days left. We'll see you in 2014, guys, with all of the contents. I'm out. See you then. See you later. See you then. Yeah.